Hello!
Hello!
A live review. Wow.
Here we go.
I haven't done one of these for such a long time, so it's kind of well rusty and stuff. But I'm joined by my good friend Jake over at Jaco Beer. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, all good. All good. Can't complain. Drinking good beer.
Yeah, it's kind of weird doing this rather than like an actual live good beer live show sort of thing. It's kind of a bit odd. Like,
well, we've been wanting to do it for a while, and
yeah, a good couple of months, isn't it?
Yeah, and stuff just happens, and you can't always do it.
Yeah, so we was fortunate enough to try this middle of February when we was up in Birmingham. I can't remember the name of the Fuller's pub up there. But anyway, here's the beer. It's a snazzy looking out of focus bottle. Is that out of focus? Yeah, of course it is. So you get the gist.
Yeah, you're familiar with it.
Yeah, it comes in one of these like Fuller's vintage ale style boxes and stuff. So I think it was it £8 in Waitrose. This was back end of last year though. It's probably not around now, but
you can probably if there is some around, it's probably like £4 in Waitrose now because they
I'm sure it's reduced to clear in some parts of the UK somewhere. And if
you always see those things on like Instagram where someone's got a cart full, and they go, "I bought it all for £3."
Yeah, £3. It's like, nice one, good for you. But yeah, this is 10.7% ABV. I think that by the looks of it, going by Untapped, they release this annually, and there's different vintages on there. But we're just going to go with the standard, generic kind of Untapped thing for this one. So there's a bit of information about the beer, but we'll go into that after. But yeah, it's got a really nice kind of seal, very kind of, again, the vintage ale sort of a thing. So let's crack on with it then.
Yeah, it's definitely got that sort of a special beer feel about it with the box and the cap and everything.
The aromas on there. Oh, okay. Mine's at room temperature as well, so.
Yeah, same. It's just been in a cool, dark place.
Yeah, it's in a box.
Yeah. Stick it on the radiator for a while.
Yeah, in the oven. Full style. But yeah, it's just been up on the shelf up there for 6 months or whatever long it is. So yeah, loads of bubbles clinging to the side of the glass on mine. Oh, you got a different glass? I've got mine just the Teku. I just grabbed one.
Yeah, it's got a little snifter.
Yeah, probably the best one to go for. But there you go. Getting jet black, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any light through or nothing on this?
Nah, maybe a little bit of red around the edges, but and it's like slick, isn't it? It's like oily.
Yeah, it's oily. It's got a lovely kind of creamy head to the beer.
Yeah.
Sort of a one finger, it's gone down to about half a finger of just got, I don't know, a mocha coloured head, I guess. Plenty of alcohol legs, as you'd expect for the ABV. I expect you're going to get something somewhere, whether it's in the taste or on the appearance. But let's get the aroma.
Yeah, let's go for it. Cheers. Oh wow. That's obviously when we last had it in Birmingham. The sort of memory banks aren't quite there, but this seems way more intense.
Yeah,
when we had it when we had it on cask in the pub, it was sweeter. It was it's like a sweet chocolate thing. Whereas this, I'm getting sort of raisin.
Yeah, it's definitely a dark fruit sort of.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that molasses, but I am getting a bit of alcohol.
Yeah. It's got like a brandy quality to it for me.
Yeah, it's it's got there's the fruit. I don't know if it's like figs or dates or something like that. But it's quite an intense kind of dark fruit.
Yeah, it's sort of Christmas cakey, isn't it?
Yeah, There's probably that brandy thing in the head.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there is sort of probably like a uber dark chocolate note to it.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not the forefront for me, and it's more.
No.
So that dark fruit with a bit of that kind of brandy-esque alcohol kind of thing.
Yeah,
it smells gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yeah, go for it. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, on the back end.
So
that is a kind of a rasping.
It's almost smoky.
I don't know.
It's almost a little bit smoky.
Oh, it is now on the palate. It's just wow. Earthy smoke.
I got a big hit of something floral.
That's a complex brew for sure. I think drinking it at room temperature, this is going to help it.
Yeah, well. you pick up all the little bits.
Although it's 10.7%, I don't think it's going to last very long. It's one of them.
No, it is because it's got like because it is slightly sweet. It's actually quite a dry beer.
Mm-hmm.
It actually makes it quite easy to drink. There's no the aroma would make you think that there's going to be sort of a certain amount of harshness to it, where actually it's ridiculously smooth.
It is crazy. It's so I mean, first of all, you're getting that alcohol. You can almost you can breathe it.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out through the nose and there's all sorts of things, But then you get this lovely kind of. It's very smooth mouthfeel, even though there is that touch of alcohol as well. It's kind of married. That's kind of marrying together. What else are you getting?
There's, like I said, the big thing I'm picking up is there's a floral quality to it. There's almost like a pepperiness that comes through that sort of coffee and chocolate, the sort of usual suspect sort of thing. But that floral edge is really good.
I'm getting that like a coffee. I don't know if it's coffee bitterness or it's the roasted malt coming through the back end. It's one of the two, but there's also like a refined coffee dust almost. Kind of granulated.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe granulated coffee, like a cocoa or something. It's quite intense.
Yeah.
Like a real dark baker's chocolate bitterness or something. Wow.
Yeah, for me there is something. There's something smoky to it as well.
Yeah. Trying to say so they're saying this is a Russian Imperial Stout. It was on Untapped, brewed in the traditional style that become of the favourite of the Russian royal court. This Imperial Stout has been specifically created as a limited edition. It says it comes out every year. And a unique addition to the historic recipe. Floral character of the Centennial hops is enhanced by the inclusion of rosebuds. Okay.
Oh, right. I didn't realise it had rosebuds in it.
Lending to a hint of Turkish delight flavour to the beer.
That's interesting.
This Imperial Stout is rich, dark in appearance, with strong chocolate and deep cherry notes, which lead to a lighter, bitter finish. Wouldn't say it's personally cherry. I'm
not picking up too much cherry on the flavour. It is more of a raisin, sort of like dark fruit quality.
Yeah. It says this bottle was bottle conditioned for above all sediment, all that sort of jazz that everyone knows about. Which I pour it all in because at the end of the day you pay for it, so you want to get every little bit of beer out of the bottle.
That's your style. That's your style. Chuck it all in.
It's just me.
It's just him.
Yeah. Say hello to Al. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're all right there. Across the Irish Sea there. I'm gutted I can't go top C this year, mate, but you know the score on that one. There's plenty of other fests and etc. So not to worry. It's only beer. That's the way I look at it. You go in the hours, you'd be like, oh, I can't, I can't cope, I can't go to this and all that, or I can't buy this, I can't. It doesn't matter.
No.
But yeah, this is a real treat, really. On the eve of a birthday as well, so I'm going to be having a few. I might even do another live stream tomorrow at some point or over the weekend. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
so they're all kind of like pop-up kind of things rather than planned. I don't like planning because sometimes I can't do it now. So it is what it is. This is. I'm getting more of a kind of a burn now in the pit.
Yeah, it sort of lulls you into a false sense of security, really. But do you think it's almost the beer we had in Birmingham and this beer? I know we had it on cask in Birmingham, and then this is a bottle that I've had sitting around for a couple of months. But it's almost like two different beers for me.
About to say that.
Yeah,
I knew he was going to say it as well. It's kind of they are different beers. I mean, I can't. It's too far apart for me to compare and think. Oh, what was it better on cask or was it better out of the bottle? I think they're on the same kind of level.
Yeah, I'd say they're just different, aren't they? It's just they're
just. I'm trying to see if there's a vintage or anything anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, could it be that maybe because it was served slightly colder, we picked up just more of the sweet aromas and you lose a little bit of that nuance?
Yeah, maybe. No, there's no date on this, so I assume it's 2018. So, but yeah, there's a nice feel about it. It feels like the end of a night kind of beer.
Yeah.
Instead of or you could have it with a dessert or just on its own, or share it around like 2 or 3 people. If there's no sense
if you're that way inclined.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, it's interesting about that rosebud thing because they don't make a big deal of it, do they? They don't like stick it on the front or anything. It's just like on the back, like the small print on the back.
Yeah, it's odd. It's very odd.
I think it works though. I mean, you pick it up instantly. That there's just something. There's just a different component. You don't necessarily get it on the aroma, but it's there. It's there on the taste.
The more it's hanging around on the palate and drinking it, it's quite dry. It's quite a dry Imperial Stout, almost like an Imperial Irish dry stout or something. Sweet at the front with all them fruits and dark fruits. I'm still not really picking up cherry. Not really.
No.
But right, let's try and get the Untapped page up and see how we fare with that. No pressure. There we go. So that's going to go like that. So here we are. I think I don't know if that's working or not. We'll find out in a minute. Here it is. Yes, it's working now.
Yeah, it's working.
Right, so pretty much the same. Although it's got the added part of licorice in there as well on this commercial description is about the only thing that's different down here.
Oh, okay, I suppose they do change the recipe every year probably.
Yeah, so 15,000 check-ins, 165 last 30 days. It's been around since 2013, 15th of November 2015, on here at least. A stack of 12,500 ratings there, coming in at 4.04. This is the kind of the generic. There is offshoots of this as you go down. If you type in this, it comes out with all this sort of thing. There's the 18, the 15, the 17, the 16, the 14. So they've been doing it quite a while. It's not exactly that limited edition, if you know what I mean.
Well, no, I mean if you can pick it up in the major supermarket.
Yeah. So yeah, 10.7%. Yeah,
but that's a damn good rating though. like 4 out of 5. Yeah,
I mean that amount of ratings as well. That always personally I think gives you an indication to how good a beer is. If you had like 11 or 500, and it was 4.04. It's still pretty good, but that amount to still hold up that high.
Yeah.
Because some people, I'll have a stout, and it's like they've never had a stout before, and they have something like that, and they put it on Untapped. Oh, that's rubbish! I'll give it a 2.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah. I don't like stouts. I'll give it a 2.
Yeah. So if you don't like stouts, if you don't like a style, I used to do that. If I didn't like a style, I wouldn't actually give it a rating.
No.
So that's the thing on that. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll. Have you had anything recently, beer wise?
Went to a tasting last night with Burnt Meal. So like tried 6 of their beers. One of them was a so like 9% Imperial Stout. That was good. They brought the whole range. So they brought like their 2.8% table beer, and then we finished on like 9% double IPA that was brewed yesterday. Canned yesterday, sorry. So it was crazy, but that's probably the best stuff I've drunk recently.
I see you had a can with no label. Was that a new release that they brought?
It doesn't even have a name yet. They said they're still choosing the name, but I'm finishing off the can.
Yeah,
can tonight, but it's damn good.
What style was that? Is it
double IPA? Not 9.2%. Like ridiculously drinkable, like stupidly drinkable. You just wouldn't have a clue. Like it's sort of like tastes like you're drinking their 2.8% table beer.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Down this neck of the woods, across the Thames, or down to Kent, it's news really. There's a craft beer festival coming up in August. They're slowly drip feeding the breweries that are going to be present. Some interesting ones, and there was a good one today that was announced. The festival's called, I think, it's Generation Craft, or Craft Generation, whatever way around, and a brewery that's doesn't get any distribution at all, but they're coming down from Birmingham. They get in Glass House coming down.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So that's going to be amazing. And apparently, a day or two before the festival, there's going to be various tap takeovers around craft beer bars in Kent of the breweries that are going to it. And Glass House are actually going to be at the Ravensgate Arms having a tap takeover. So I'm like, it's going to be really good. I think is it that Raptor brewery, Neon Raptor?
Neon Raptor, yeah.
Neon Raptor. Yeah, I think they're going to be having a tap takeover at the 12 Taps in Whitstable. And that's what I've heard so far, but I don't know the dates for all these things. But it's quite interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I think the whole point of that festival is to highlight breweries that are sort of overlooked a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's really good. And other like breweries you don't see much of, like Unity, where they're more around now. Vibrant Forest, they've become more around. Brett raves about them, so I still like to try different stuff from them. They had a tap takeover at the end of last year down at Ravensgate, that place, and they were really good actually. I was quite impressed. Some of their pale beers were not for me, but certainly their Imperial Stout, I think it was the Eternal Abyss. They had a bourbon barrel aged version of that on tap, and it was like that got people into a bit of trouble with that beer.
Did it?
Well, you know what they were like though. I'll have a half. I'll have another. The session. It's like,
you're asking for trouble there.
12% beer. They're trying to session this sort of thing. It's like, well, I think it got to the point where there's a few people there, we're not going to serve you anymore. But, trying to think what other news locally. You got any other news locally to you? I've got one thing, but I'll let you. Is there anything going on?
Back to your neck of the woods. The sad news that
yeah, but that's the
bottle shop in Canterbury. That was my local. It was literally 30 seconds from my house when I lived in Canterbury. So it's sad.
It's really sad. And obviously know a few people in the area and stuff, and it's like by the sounds of it, like everywhere, it's the local council and stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, they've always had a hard time with licensing, I think.
Yeah, I don't know the politics of it all, but either way, it's pretty shit. It's the place that first got me into craft beer back in 2012, 2013, something like that.
I mean, that's where the bottle shop started, wasn't it? That is the original.
Yeah, so that's I think it started in 2010 there. I remember buying like some Colonel beers, Weird Beard, and what else did I get? Some Beavertown bottles and stuff like that when it was all first really starting. I think I spent about 50 quid and I nearly had a heart attack because I only bought like 7 or 8 beers or something.
Yeah.
I've spent 50 quid on like, in that kind of, I'll get a crate of lager kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And then start drinking them. I'm like, I don't care anymore. It was just like something so tasty and different from what the general stuff I started to drink many years ago. And,
exactly.
And it's just like,
yeah, I mean, it was one of those places where if you were a regular, I just used to just go down by myself, and you'd end up with all the other regulars, like talking to people, or like the bar staff and everything like that. It was a proper sort of like hangout place, really. It was really good, and I mean, it like I remember having sort of like the first Cloudwater double IPA there that they brewed. And like that, and like being recommended it, and it's like, oh yeah, you got to try this. It's insane, and it's like, whoa, what the, what the hell is that?
Yeah, so that's kind of like news. Did you still do your monthly? Was last night your monthly kind of?
Yeah, that was normally, so I do a tasting sort of. Well, this is the first one of this year actually, but so we got off to a slower start. But Burnt Mill normally the brewery brings like 2 beers, and then I pick like 4 beers. But Burnt Mill, we've got 6 beers. So I was like, yeah, that's good. I don't have to talk, and I get to drink.
Sure. Right, I've got a few more comments. We've got Peter. How you doing, brother? Hey, hope you're all right. We'll have a chat later. Al, I've seen this about so much, so must give it a spin. Yeah. It's talking about. I assume you're talking about the Fullers. It's worth picking up. I assume you're talking about that.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth the 8 quid.
Then we've got Drunker One from Texas, over in America. So, how you doing, Sparky? Hope you're all right, mate. Then we got PA Brew News Paul from Pennsylvania. International crowd tonight, which is cool. It's pretty cool. I don't generally do these live things. I'll normally gate crash other people's, but I thought, let's do this for a change. What the hell?
Yeah.
And then there's lots of pleasantries and stuff. You get what you pay for with the macro versus micro. Yeah, it's fine. It's just sometimes it's just beer. It's like sometimes you don't want to think about beer, so it's just like, especially in the summer months. Anyway, I'm like that. I'm like, it can be really bad, but sometimes I'm like, I don't care. I'm thirsty. I'm drinking it. I should just drink water sometimes, but there you go. My video should be up within about 10 minutes. Okay, Drunken One, I'll check that out, and that's it. A bit of more pleasantries, and that's it. Really cool. So, I mean, I'll definitely buy this again for sure. I'd like to see how this aged. I'd like to age it for a bit just to see if it changes or it becomes a little bit more. I mean, it's quite boozy. I thought I wasn't getting so much booze on cask as I am in the bottle.
No,
so definitely
not.
So maybe it will mellow out after a few years. I think they're saying, I don't know if it's 5. Is it no, it's Paul, isn't it? When he does the vintage ales, he leaves them 5 years before he opens them. So he's got
really? That's
so
patience.
many years.
that man's got more patience than than
Yeah,
I do.
I don't. Paul asked answer this if he's still there. I think he might have them at his parents' house rather than at his house.
Oh, so the temptation, for that.
Yeah. You can't drink them because they're not there, kind of thing.
Yeah,
which is definitely.
I'm terrible at aging beers. I sort of age beers accidentally. I sort of like look at my stash and go, oh yeah, I've had this for like 4 years.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of the what do you call it? The brewery sent it to me. Shepherd Neame's 2015 now, the Magna Carta.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A box. They sent it to me like back in 2015, and I've still got that.
Is that the one that's brewed to like a recipe from the time where it's like got no hops
right.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's like an old English ale recipe from way back when, or that around that time. Which, and I've still got that. That's in the fridge. Sorry, Paul, it's in the fridge. And yes, I almost opened it last night, and I in the end I didn't bother drinking last night because I knew I was going to have a few beers this weekend, starting this afternoon actually. So yeah, I mean, I know you don't rate these sort of beers on your channel, and sometimes I'm like, should I rate beers on my channel or not? I'm like, I'll give this a rating anyway. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I think it's a solid beer.
Oh yeah.
On the Untapped scale, I think I've had better, of course. I don't know. I think I might marginally prefer this on cask, but not much.
Yeah.
I might I can't remember.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, how much does experience go into it? Because like when we had that on cask, we were all amazed that it was £2.30 for a half.
£2.30 for a half or a 10.7. It's like,
yeah,
really.
Yeah, and we're all having like a good time, sort of thing. So is all those sort of positive feelings does that go into what you're drinking? And
I just wasn't picking up so much of the alcohol as I am in the bottle.
No, definitely not.
I reckon maybe after 5 or 6 years, this could be like bordering a 10 out of 10. If that alcohol dropped out and you're left with all that kind of all them other flavours, dark fruits and stuff, it might be a little bit more complex, possibly. So maybe that will shine more over time, but I don't know. But this is another thing as well. Some beers age better than others. It's not just a case of aging a beer. Depends on how you store it, I guess. What ingredients are in the beer, so on and so forth. Certainly style-wise as well. I know things like fruit can drop out of some of these kind of fruited lambics and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm rambling on now. So yeah, would you give it a score? Or
well, I'd agree with you on that one. It's 4 out of 5 all day long.
Yeah,
not quite a 5 out of 5.
Beer. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. It's just the alcohol's a little bit too much, but then I'm guessing then it's fresh.
Yeah,
or fresh within the last sort of 6-8 months.
Yeah,
in the bottle, I guess. So anyway, we'll wrap this up and clear off, and that's it. There's no more comments. So cheers for joining us, Jake. And no doubt we'll be doing a good beer live in the next sort of possibly next week or whenever.
Possibly next week.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's not been agreed or whatever yet.
No.
But anyway, thanks to Jake. Thanks to everyone's watching, and see you on the next review. Cheers.
Cheers.